can't see anything down there. I have no idea what just happened. They're gone. Joy with the news.
No.
Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
Well, everyone wanted to be like Mike when Jordan was at the height of his basketball career, but on The Last Dance last night, he revealed that it wasn't always as great as it seemed. He said, "This is not one of those lifestyles that you envy. I'm ready for getting out of this life. You know, when you get to that point, I'm there with no reservations at all."
Yeah.
A lot of people say they'd like to try and be Michael Jordan for a day or a week, but I don't think they quite understand that it's no fun. Watching him say this, you could feel the stress and the anxiety and the exhaustion in his voice and his energy. And, seeing every time he leaves the hotel room, the crowds of people and people shoving their babies at him and putting cameras in his face and yelling and screaming and pulling at him and rubbing his head. And, everyone just wanted just a little taste of Michael any way they could get it. And that's an exhausting lifestyle. Now, people would argue that comes with a lot of perks, like you make millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars.
But you don't
and
make
you're super famous and you have all these luxuries.
You don't make that money because of autographs. You make that money because you're great at what you do. And then companies, also shoe company, you can sell. Michael makes that money because he can move shoes and he was good at basketball. You don't make that money because of autographs. So the idea that they owe us autographs or selfies, to me, it's like if a player's like not interested. I mean, I always give.
He would spend your whole day taking pictures and signing autographs. You would literally not even be able to play basketball. He had that many fans. I think Michael was very gracious with fans, as I think most guys are. You're going to run into a story here and there where a guy turned down someone for an autograph and then all of a sudden they're a jerk. When the reality is they don't owe you anything more than what they do on the field.
Some fans are jerks. I mean, have you ever seen these people that travel around to the Super Bowl with a backpack full of stuff and they want you to sign 40 things? Those people have no life. I wouldn't want to sit there and sign 75 pictures of me from one, I mean,
there's extremes in every situation. There's guys that aren't great with fans, and they should be better. And there's fans that aren't great with stars, and they should be better. There's always a middle ground here, right, that you want to stay within. But the bigger picture is that this kind of lifestyle, and we talked about it earlier, I don't think that stars exist on the level of Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson and Marilyn Monroe and Elvis. I don't really think they exist anymore because social media has created this level of accessibility that eliminates that demigod status. And there's also so many different ways that you can become famous now, whether that's really coming with all the other perks of being famous. It's just a different world now. But you could see it in him. He was... I mean, I was tired looking at him being tired.
No, it was. There were times I was sympathetic toward Michael. I was like, God, just let him live, folks. Give me a break.
That's not what we do. So the Cowboys signed Andy Dalton to a one-year deal to be Dak Prescott's backup next season. And former Cowboy Des Bryant is not happy with the move. He tweeted, "Nothing against Andy Dalton because I think he's a great player, but the Cowboys are extremely out of line. Pay Dak. I watched the Cowboys pay Tony twice, once without a winning record. I guess the Cowboys viewing the quarterback position as a plug-in piece because of the dominant offense." Dalton's deal has a base value of $3 million and could be worth up to $7 million, so not paying him much. And they waived quarterback Cooper Rush. I don't know. I mean, listen, I think that Dak deserves to get paid. What he is paid is obviously what it's coming down to in the years. I think it's probably time Dak get this contract done because I don't think that there is a massive gap between Dak Prescott and Andy Dalton. I do think Dak Prescott is better than Andy Dalton, but it's not a massive gap. It's not Aaron Rodgers to Andy Dalton. And I'm a huge supporter of Dak Prescott. I think he is the quarterback of the Cowboys' future. I think he's done a fantastic job, and he's way overachieved and been significantly underpaid. We've been talking about this contract for a very long time. I mean, it's enough. Like, it's the longest contract talk forever. But the Andy Dalton thing is, to me, when I saw this, I was like, well, Dak might want to get on this contract thing, get it figured out before something happens. You never know, and that's generational money that you're talking about here.
Yeah.
Finally, we've reached the deadline for teams to exercise their fifth-year options for the 2017 first-round picks. How about this? Half of the top 10 picks in the 2017 draft had their options declined.
Yep, but if
Mitchell Trubisky, Solomon Thomas, Leonard Fournette, Corey Davis, and John Ross did not get picked up for a fifth year by their teams.
Yeah, but if you and I suggest a first-round player may bust, we get hate mail. a third of this first round or a half
of
have
the top 10.
underachieved. Of the top 10 have underachieved.
Half of the top 10.
That's why I say I think Burrow's going to struggle. Look at where he's going. It's like, of course he's going to struggle.
Well, I just also think that's why unless you are actually going to rebuild, hoarding up draft picks or being like, I don't want to make this trade because I don't want to give up draft picks, and it's like the draft is what it is. This is obviously kind of extreme. Half is a lot, but you don't know what you're getting in the draft. So if you're in a situation where you're win now, hoarding up draft picks, like you want to have draft picks, obviously. You want to have that value. But you also want to make moves that can put you in a position with veterans to get where you need to go sooner. So this is just very interesting.
Yeah. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
27 seasons in the NBA as a head coach. He's got a unique connection to Michael Jordan. He coached against him in an all-star game. I had a young Kobe with him. He went to North Carolina, by the way. George Karl was a heck of a basketball player. Dean Smith there. Also lost to Jordan in the finals in 96 with those Sonics teams, my hometown team that I grew up loving. And George is joining us. Let's first of all, George, how are you? How are things?
Well, I'm getting a little lazy hibernating every day, but, Denver's a great city to live in. I can't wait till we can get out and socialize and start figuring out our new world.
Yeah. So go back to the